The coffee's getting cold on your side of the bed. I'm replaying every single word that we never said. The clock on the wall is just dragging its feet, like it knows that without you I'm incomplete. I used to run circles, I used to fly high. Now I'm just counting the clouds in the sky, because I breathe slower with you. The world stops spinning and the sky turns to blue. But now that you're gone, the air feels so thin. I'm gasping for moments that'll never begin. My heart is a ghost in a room built for two, and I'm suffocating, 'cause I breathe slower with you. I see your reflection in the glass of the door, but it's just a shadow of what we had before. I'm trying to help, I'm trying to survive, but it's hard to feel human or even alive. Every heartbeat is heavy, every second is wide, like a low reaching tide with nowhere to hide. They say time is a healer, they say I'll be fine, but they don't see the way that your hand fit in mine. Now the silence is screaming, it's all I can hear, and I'm drowning in oxygen, wishing you were near. Slower, so much slower now, just a rhythmic ache in my chest. I'm still waiting for my lungs to remember how to breathe without you. The party's loud, the walls are shaking fast, but I'm just staring at the wine inside my glass. You're across the room, laughing at his jokes, while I'm over here inhaling all the smoke. I could've walked away 1,000 times before, but I keep my feet anchored to this floor, because I chose you in the quiet, when the world wasn't looking, when the noise died down. I picked your broken pieces up off the ground. Now I'm screaming your name without making a sound. Yeah, I chose you in the quiet. you're choosing the crowd. Do you remember how the kitchen floor felt at 3 a.m.? Before you started trading us for them? I was the one who knew the shadows in your eyes. Now I'm just a stranger in a clever disguise. You look right through me like I'm made of glass, waiting for the next shiny thing to pass. It's a lonely kind of loyalty, a heavy kind of love, to give you everything and still not be enough. I was your sanctuary, your silent place to land. Now I'm just the ghost reaching for your hand. I chose you in the quiet, when the world wasn't looking, when the noise died down. I picked your broken pieces up off the ground. Now I'm screaming your name without making a sound. Yeah, I chose you in the quiet. The lights are coming up, the room is getting bare. You're heading for the door, and I'm still standing there in the silence you hate, in the space you won't trace. I'm still choosing you while you forget my face. I kept my secrets locked behind a heavy door. 1,000 reasons why I couldn't love no more. But you walked in with eyes that saw the cracks in me, and whispered words that felt like some sweet honesty. Let the armor fall, I let the shadows fade, believing every single promise that you made. 'Cause I fell for the way you care, or so it seemed. I fell for the version of us I had only dreamed. You held my because I fell for the way you cared, but you didn't care for me. You knew exactly where the old scars used to ache. Knew exactly how much pressure I could take. Was it a game to see how deep the roots could go before you pulled the rug and let the cold winds blow? It's not the leaving that is tearing me apart, bitter snare. I kept the porch light on, just like a fool does, tracing the shadows where your shadow used to brush. The coffee's cold now, sitting on your side of the glass. Funny how the things we built are the first things to pass. I'm still memorizing the way you said my name, like a prayer that I whispered, but you never came. 'Cause I found forever in the palm of your hand. I built a kingdom on a handful of sand. Now I'm standing in the ruins of a life we never knew. How do I find tomorrow when my world was always you? I found forever near you, but forever didn't want us to. Sweaters in the hallway, still holding your scent. A ghost of a promise and the time that we spent. I see your face in the windshield when the rain starts to fall. It's the loudest kind of silence when you don't call it all. They say time is a healer, but time is a thief. It steals every memory to feed on my grief. I was ready for a lifetime, I was ready for the grave, but you packed up eternity and just walked away. Just a breath away from you. Now I'm lost in the always we never got through. Yeah, I found forever, but you found someone new. Watch the sunset on your street again, counting the cracks in the pavement where we began. My friends all say I'm a ghost, just haunting the past, building a house out of shadows that were never meant to last. I know the ending, I've read every page, but I'm still standing here, locked in this cage. And keep choosing this love, even when it's cold. Tracing the stories that we'll never get to tell or be told. It's a beautiful poison, a slow burning ache, a promise I'm keeping that you had to break. Yeah, my heart is a ruin, but I'm still holding the key, because choosing the pain is the only way to keep you with me. The silence in this room is a heavy, hollow sound. I'm still picking up the pieces you left scattered on the ground. I could walk away, I could finally be free, but I'm terrified of who I'd be without this misery. Every goodbye I say feels like a lie. I'd rather be bleeding than say my last dry-eyed goodbye. They call it a cycle, they call it a flaw, but losing you feels like breaking a natural law. So I'll take the salt and I'll take the sting, I'll take the nothingness that your memory brings. And I keep choosing this love, even when it's cold. Tracing the stories that we'll never get to tell or be told. It's a beautiful poison, a slow burning ache, a promise I'm keeping that you had to break. Yeah, my heart is a ruin, but I'm still holding the key, because choosing the pain is the only way to keep you with me. I keep choosing it every morning, every night. I'm staying in the dark just to remember your light. Yeah, I keep choosing this love, even if it never chooses me back. The coffee's cold on your side of the bed, just like the words that we never quite said. I'm tracing the shadows where you used to lie, learning the rhythm of a long lost goodbye. The house is a museum of things we once knew, and I'm just a ghost walking halls meant for two. So I close my eyes and I let the world fade back to the promises that we both made. In the silence of midnight, when I'm feeling blue, I rest in the thought, I rest in the thought of you. It's a hollow comfort, a bittersweet view, but I rest in the thought of you. hides in the rain. I see your smile in the glass of the door, but the latch doesn't click like it did once before. I'm holding on tight to a hand that's not there, folding your memory like clothes I can't wear. They say time is a healer, but time is a thief. It turns every heartbeat to a season of grief. That we both made in the silence of midnight. When I'm feeling blue, I rest in the thought, I rest in the thought of you. It's a whole comfort, a bittersweet view. But I rest in the thought of you. Just a thought, just a dream I can't keep. I'll find you again when I finally sleep. I rest in the thought. I'm still tracing the outlines of where you used to lay. The ghost of your shadow hasn't moved a single inch today. You found a new horizon, a sun that doesn't sting, while I'm still here protecting every broken, hollow thing. The world keeps turning, demanding I move on, but how do I leave the only place where I belong? I stay where you feel safe, in the quiet of the dark, holding on to embers of a long extinguished spark. You're miles past the border of the life we used to know, but I'm the silent sentry who can't find the heart to go. I'm guarding every memory that you threw away. I stay where you feel safe. Your keys are on the counter, your jacket's on the door. I treat them like they're sacred, like you're coming back for more. If I keep the porch light burning, maybe time will just reverse. But staying in this temple is starting to feel like a curse. You're out there breathing in the fresh and open air, while I'm suffocating on the spark. You're miles past the border of the life we used to know. But I'm the silent sentry who can't find the heart to go. I'm guarding every memory that you threw away. I stay where you feel safe. The locks are still the same. I still whisper your name in case you ever need to hide. I'll be waiting on the inside. I'll stay where you feel safe. I trace the lines upon your palm like maps to a home I finally own. No more searching through the static, no more feeling so alone. You were the quiet in the kitchen, the warmth against the winter glass. A love that didn't ask for permission, a love I thought would last. But how do I unlearn the habit of reaching for your ghost in the night? It was a love that felt like belonging. Now nothing feels quite right. I built my wall inside your shadow, thought I'd finally found the key. But you took the walls and the roof with you and left the rain for me. The coffee's cold on your side of the table. The silence is a heavy sound. I'm a stranger in this apartment now, just pacing on hollow ground. You were the see you later, but don't forget that I'm almost home. Now home is just a word for a place where I'm eternally loved. They say home is where the heart is, but mine is packed in your suitcase. I'm wandering through memories of a life I can't replace. How can a heart feel so clouded with everything that's gone? It's just a house now, just a room, just a love that felt like belonging in a world that ended too soon. Used to keep the porch light dim, afraid of what the shadows brought. I built a wall, stone by stone, to keep out every single thought. Then you arrived like morning mist, no heavy boots, no sudden flare, just a quiet hum against the glass to let me know that you were there. It was the love that found me gently, that broke my heart in two. I was embraced for kindness, or the softest shade of blue. You didn't tear the doors down, you just waited for the key. Now I'm drowning in the stillness of the love that found me gently. To love the way you breathe, a rhythm I could finally trust. But gardens grown in winter soil are bound to turn back into dust. You left as softly as you came, no screaming match, no slamming door, just a space where you once stood and a silence I can't ignore. They say the loudest crashes are the ones that leave a scar, but it's the whisper of your ghost that's tearing me apart. How do I learn to hate you when you never did me wrong? You just played a minor chord and ended the whole song. It was the love that found me gently, that broke my heart in two. I was embraced for kindness, or the softest shade of blue. You didn't tear the doors down, you just waited for the key. Now I'm drowning in the stillness of the love that found me gently. Porch lights out again, the mist has cleared away, but I'm still waiting in the quiet for the part of me you took today. Gently, so gently. I'm still sitting at the table where we left the coffee cold, tracing outlines of the promises that we let go. I'm told the clock is ticking louder now, a hammer in the hall, measuring the distance of the shadows on the wall. I keep the porch light burning, though the street is dark and dry. Just a foolish man's religion, waiting for a clear blue sky. They say that time is healing, but it's just a slow burn light. When I'm still holding on to hello in a world of goodbye. My heart is just a ghost town, haunted by your name, tending to a flicker while I'm standing in the rain. It's a heavy kind of silence, a lonely kind of fade, to have a love that knows how to, but has nowhere to wait. I saw your coat in the hallway, and I almost called your name, but the echoes only whispered back that nothing stays the same. I'm memorizing floorboards just to feel where you once stood. If I could trade my tomorrow for one yesterday, I would. They tell me I should move along, let the seasons have to turn, but I'm a student of the ashes, still waiting for the burn. Because they say that time is healing, but it's just a slow burn light. When I'm still holding on to hello in a world of goodbye. My heart is just a ghost town, haunted by your name, it's tending to a flicker while I'm standing in the rain. It's a heavy kind of silence, a lonely kind of fade, to have a love that knows how to, but has nowhere to wait. Is it patience or a prison? If the door is open wide, I'm staying for the memory of the light you had inside. I'd rather be the one who stayed broken and alone than learn to live a life where your heart beats lit So I'll just sit here in the quiet while the years turn into gray. Loving you is the only thing I won't let slip away. Yeah, I'll be right here, just a love that knows how to wait. Still the clock on the wall is a heavy sound, counting the minutes we're still around. I'm tracing the lines on the back of your hand, building a life on a grain of sand. The shadows are stretching across the floor. I'm already mourning the click of the door. I'm memorizing the light in your eyes before it turns into bitter goodbyes. If I only had one day to stay with you, I'd spend the sunset, I'd quiet the birds. I live in the spaces between all our words. But the sky's getting dark and the moon's pushing through, and I'm terrified of losing the view. Just one day to stay, then back to the blue. We talk about movies we'll never see, and places that won't hold you and me. I'm acting like tomorrow isn't a ghost, when the thing that I need is the thing I fear most. The smell of your sweater, the way that you lean, the cruelest forever that I've ever seen. It's a beautiful torture, a sweet kind of hell, to love you this much when I'm saying farewell. The sun's dipping low, the deadline is near. I'm breathing in deep just to keep you right here. But the earth keeps on spinning, it doesn't care much that I'm losing my soul in the ghost of your touch. Just one day, I'd give 1,000 lifetimes for one more stay. But the light is fading, and I'm still here, waiting. I'm tracing the outlines, the shadows on the wall, waiting for a footstep that never seems to fall. The tea has gone cold in the cup that you bought, just another ghost in a battle I fought. I remember the kitchen, the light on your face. Now it's just empty, a hollowed out space. I'm reaching for a hand that isn't there, just grasping at the weight of the winter air. And I give up the world for the silence we knew, for the way that the storm drifted off around you. Now the thunder is screaming, the rain's at my door, and I don't know how to be brave anymore. I'm lost in the noise, I'm falling too much, searching for the anchor, the calm inside your touch. Your sweater still smells like the rain and the pine, a cruel little lie that you're still somehow mine. I walk through the rooms just to feel where you stood, and fix every fracture if I only could. But the clock on the mantle is frozen in time, like a beautiful poem that ran out of rhyme. You were the harbor when the tide grew too high, the only piece of blue in a charcoal sky. Now I'm sinking in the middle of a restless sea, 'cause you took the quiet is still blowing. The dark is still growing. And I'm just a shadow of the person you knew, still reaching through the static, looking for you just for the calm inside your touch. I'm still tracing the outlines of where you used to stay, like a ghost in the hallway that won't fade away. The coffee's getting cold on your side of the bed, and I'm replaying every single word that you said. I keep reaching for your hand when the room starts to shake, but it's just the sound of my heart starting to break. 'Cause all the way you used to hold my world kept the stars from falling and the flags unfurled. But now the sky is heavy and the ground is thin. I don't know where you end or where I begin. You were the gravity, the only thing that's true. Now I'm just drifting in the space left by silence is a rhythm I can't seem to learn. I'm a candle in the window just waiting to burn. I saw your coat hanging by the kitchen door, and I realized I don't know who I am anymore. Every memory is a map that leads back to your face, but there's no way to find you in this empty space. They say time is a healer, but time is a thief. It steals all the joy and it leaves all the grief. You didn't just leave, you took the light from the sun. Now I'm trying to finish what we just begun. 'Cause all the way you used to hold my world kept the stars from falling and the flags unfurled. But now the sky is heavy and the ground is thin. I don't know where you end or where I begin. You were the gravity, the only thing that's true. Now I'm just drifting in the space left by you. My world is falling, and you're not here to catch it anymore. No, you're not here to hold it anymore. I'm still walking through the rooms we painted blue, tripping over shadows that look a lot like you. The coffee's getting cold in a cup you never fill, and the clock on the wall is the only thing that's still. I thought we were the anchor in the middle of the gale, but I was just the wind and you were just the sail. So this is where love finally settled, in the cracks of the floor and the dust on the shelf, like a fallen rose with its broken petal. You found a new home, and I'm back to myself. It didn't end with a scream or a grand goodbye, just a quiet I'm tired and a look in your eye. Yeah, this is where love finally settled down to die. I saw your car turn the corner of our street, but you didn't slow down, you didn't miss a beat. Now there's a silence here that's louder than the noise of all the I love yous we lost like broken toys. They say time is a healer, but time is just a thief, turning every memory into a new kind of grief. I'm not looking for closure, I'm just looking for rest, searching for the version of us that's no longer there. Because this is where love finally settled, in the cracks of the floor and the dust on the shelf, like a fallen rose with its broken petal. You found a new home, and I'm back to myself. It didn't end with a scream or a grand goodbye, just a quiet I'm tired and a look in your eye. Yeah, this is where love finally settled down to die. Where love settled down in the dark, leaving me here with a quiet heart. I still reach for your hand in the middle of the night, forgetting that you're gone, forgetting we lost the light. The floorboards still creak where we used to stand. Now I'm just a ghost in this empty land. You were the rhythm, the pulse in my chest. Now I'm just a heart that can't find any rest. 'Cause you were my gentle constant, my steady North Star. Now I'm just wondering where the hell you are. You were the anchor when the tide pulled me low, the only piece of heaven I'll ever truly know. How do I breathe when the air feels like stone? You were my gentle constant, and now I'm alone. And now I'm alone. The coffee's gone cold, and the silence is loud. I'm looking for your face in every passing crowd. You had a way of making the chaos feel small, but now I'm just a shadow leaning against the wall. Every I love you is a debt I can't pay, just a bunch of words with nowhere to stay. They say time is a healer, but time is a thief. It's trading my memories for pages of grief. I'd give up the sun just to sit in your rain, to feel you again, even if it's just pain. You were my gentle constant, my steady North Star. Now I'm just wondering where the hell you are. You were the anchor when the tide pulled me low, the only piece of heaven I'll ever truly know. How do I breathe when the air feels like stone? You were my gentle constant, and now I'm alone. My gentle constant. The world keeps moving, but I'm standing still, waiting for a heartbeat that never will. Yeah, you were my constant, and I'm just the echo. I'm still driving through the rain to a house that isn't home, tracing shadows on the ceiling, learning how to be alone. You were the only place I didn't have to hide my scars, the steady beat of oxygen beneath 1,000 falling stars. And I'm still falling, but the ground is cold and hard. I'm reaching out for something in this empty, quiet yard. You were the safety net, the light that kept me standing, my only place to rest. You were my soft landing, my soft landing. Now every time I stumble, I just brace for the impact, searching for the version of me that you kept intact. The silence is a mountain that I don't know how to climb. I'm losing all my balance in the spaces of our time. How do I learn to walk when I've forgotten how to fly? How do I face the sun without your reflection in my eye? I'm crashing in slow motion, waiting for your hands to hold. But the air is getting thin and the world is getting cold. Yeah, I'm still falling, but the ground is cold and hard. I'm reaching out for something that's empty, quiet yard. You were the safety net, the light that kept me standing, my only place to rest. You were my soft landing, my soft landing. Now it's just the gravity, just the gravity in me. The coffee's cold, the house is way too quiet. I'm picking fights with shadows on the wall. I've memorized the rhythm of the silence and the way the dust settles in the hall. I still reach for your hand when I'm dreaming. Then I wake up to the cold side of the bed. It's funny how the memories keep screaming, all the words that we should have never said. And it's cruel how you make love and feel so easy, like a habit I'm not ready to let go. You're the only light that ever really reached me, in a world that's moving way too fast or slow. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of forever, with a heart that's bound to break and stay in flight. Yeah, you're the reason I'm so lost, but it's still true. You make loving feel right. I saw your coat left hanging by the doorway. I couldn't bring myself to move it from the hood. I'm still living life in shadows and in your way, reading chapters of a closed and dusty book. They say that time is supposed to be a healer, but time is just a ghost that follows me. Every face in every crowd is just a stealer of the only ghost I ever want to see. And it's cruel how you make love and feel so easy, like a habit I'm not ready to let go. You're the only light that ever really reached me, in a world that's moving way too fast or slow. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of forever, with a heart that's bound to break and stay in flight. Yeah, you're the reason I'm so lost, but it's still true. You make loving feel right. I'd do it all again just for the ending. I take the break to feel the beat once more. There's no use in lying or pretending. I'm still waiting for your shadow at the door. You make loving feel even when you're gone, even when I'm wrong, you make loving feel right. I used to walk through the crowded halls, a ghost among the living, hidden behind these walls. I wore a smile like a mask, a fragile disguise, but you saw the shadows lingering in my eyes. I was a whisper in a world of screams, fading like a memory from forgotten dreams. But then you looked at me and the world stood still. You reached for my hand and I felt a sudden thrill, 'cause you make my heart feel seen, like a lighthouse guiding me through the dark and lean. You found the beauty in my broken pieces and all my insecurities. Your love releases. In your gaze I'm more than just a name. You sparked a fire, a flickering flame. You make my heart feel seen. You know my secrets, the ones I keep locked away, the fears that haunt me at the break of day. You listen to my silence, you understand my tears. You've chased away the ghosts of all my wasted years. I was a whisper in a world of screams, fading like a memory from forgotten dreams. But then you looked at me and the world stood still. You reached for my hand and I felt a sudden thrill, 'cause you make my heart feel seen, like a lighthouse guiding me through Now the world is brighter, the colors more true, because I found a reflection of myself in you. I'm no longer invisible, no longer alone. You've given me a place to call my own. You make my heart feel seen. Yeah, you make my heart feel seen. No longer invisible, because of you. I'm staring at the hollow side of the bed, tracing outlines of the words we never said. The hallway's quiet, the kitchen's cold and gray, since you packed the sunlight up and walked away. Now I'm just a tenant in a house of stone, learning how it feels to be truly alone. 'Cause you had a way of leaning in, turning drywall into skin, making a Tuesday night feel like a sacred place. I could find my way back just by the lines upon your face. Now the walls are just walls, and the rooms are just space, because you turn moments into home. And now I'm just a ghost on my own. Found your coffee mug behind the bathroom door, still a little ring of dust upon the floor. I used to hate the mess, the keys you'd always lose, but I'd give anything to see them in your shoes. You were the anchor, you were the steady beat. Now every floorboard cries beneath my feet. It wasn't the roof, it wasn't the wood, it was the way you understood that a life isn't built, it's gathered in views, in the how was your day and the I love yous. But the lease is up and the fire's gone cold. I'm holding a map with nowhere to go. 'Cause you had a way of leaning in, turning place. Now the walls are just walls, and the rooms are just space. Because you turn moments into home, and now I'm just a ghost on my own. The porch lights flickering out in this house of silence and doubt. You were the home, not the zip code or the street. Now I'm just a stranger that I'll never meet. Yeah, you turn moments into home, and I'm just wandering. I'm still sleeping on the left side of the bed, leaving space for the ghost of things you said. The house is too quiet, coffee's gone cold. I'm holding on to stories that we'll never tell or grow. I see your keys by the door, but you aren't coming in. And I don't know where my life ends and yours should begin. Because your love feels like rest, but I'm wide awake, counting every single promise that we didn't break. It was the only place I ever felt I could finally breathe. Now I'm suffocating in the holes that you had to leave. They say time is a healer, but time is a thief. When your love feels like rest, and I'm dying of grief. I walk through the park where we carved out our names, but the wood's getting rotten and nothing's the same. I try to find anger to cover the holes, but there's no fire left, just the ash and the coals. You were the rhythm that steadied my heart. Now I'm just a melody falling apart. Is it a one tree if I'm the one who won't let go? Is it a hollow if I'm the only one? Did he know? I trade every sunrise for one more quiet night, wrapped in the safety of you, holding me tight. Because your love feels like rest, but I'm wide awake, counting every single promise pretend you're still here, that the silence is peace and there's nothing to fear. Good night, my darling, I'm finally resting.